Welcome to Live with Sensei. I'm your host, Jay Haynes, for the Film Sensei YouTube channel. In this 10th episode of my inaugural live streaming season, I am talking about the upcoming FXhome short film. But before we begin, I want to remind everybody that my new Udemy course, Masterclass, the Absolute Beginners course on HitFilm Express, is now live. There is a link in the description of this video. And that's for those of you who are watching this after the fact. And I will post a link in the chat room right now for everyone who is watching live. Let me do that right now. There it is. Yes, there it is. Okay. Don't forget to use the coupon code, which is Sensei999, to get the lowest possible price on that course. The code is only good until tomorrow morning. So if you have not bought this course yet, now is the time. It will not last much longer. I want to thank those people in the hit film community who have supported me and bought this course. Triam23, Dafter Things, Tedinator, Stargazer 54, and TD Davis have all supported me in purchasing this course. And I want to share with you a couple of things that have been said. Stargazer 54 sent me this message. He said he wouldn't be able to make it as I have other commitments to this live stream, but definitely plug your Udemy course. From what I have seen so far, it is very informative and perfect for new users. I have also picked up on a couple of items that I had overlooked, so it's worthwhile no matter the skill level. Looking forward to the rest. That is extremely humbling for me that somebody of Stargazer's abilities, I mean, he is one of the two moderators on the forum, and the other one being Triam23. He is one of the two most knowledgeable people on HitFilm. If he says it's a good course, then that really validates it for me. So TD Davis said, while I have been using HitFilm for about 5 years, there is so much information in even just the first few chapters about features of the software that I was aware of, but I never really explored. I can already see that this course should significantly speed up my workflow. By the way, the final 1/4 of the course, picking up tons of new information. That is so nice of you to say. The last part of the course, that last quarter, is all about the visual effects themselves. So I want to give a few shout outs tonight. Please leave a comment in the chat room so I can recognize who is in the house. And we have Frank is awake for this one. Good, good. That's awesome. Vazio is also here. Happy Tuesday to you too, sir. And it looks like Bill with Coast to Coast Drones is here as well. We're delighted to have you. And 4K Productions, great to have you too. Appreciate you being here. Flaming Thunder TV has arrived. You're here. Thank you. Alexander Filmworks, greetings and rapturous salutations to you as well. CC Coder, hey y'all back. Good to see you. BR Nambin, it is great to have you, sir. And Farah Films, hi Sensei. Hi Farah, good to have you, sir. And oh, my course is amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And Flaming Thunder TV, hi to you as well, sir. Really appreciate it. I do have a one housekeeping item before we jump in here. And that is, I'm delighted to announce, and we just set this, that next week my live stream will not be on Tuesday night. Instead, it will be on Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon Eastern time, which is noon Pacific. That's this Sunday, November 10th. And my special guest will be the one and only Mike Miller, Triam23 on the forums. The topic of that discussion will be Mike's top essentials for VFX, not just for hit film, but for VFX in general. So this is a not miss episode. Mike will be with me and he will share all of his top secret things that he thinks you need to know if you want to really be good at VFX. So let's jump into the topic for this show, and that is the upcoming FXhome short film. Well, not every time, but a lot of times what FXhome does is they When they release a new version of Hit Film, they also release a short film to go along with it. Let me give you an example. We have here this from 3 years ago. This is Rebellion. This was in association with the release of Hit Film 2017, or what we now usually refer to as number 5, version number 5, right? So this short film was released at the same time that they released that episode, and this is something that they do on a regular basis. So they are planning on coming out with a new episode, a new short film, and I want to just sort of speculate a little bit on this. Last month they started tweeting out and sharing on social media some different things. This thing came out, and I said, could be a Star Wars movie. You never know, right? And then they came out with this picture. This, I believe, was on their Twitter page. And this is, and it came with a cryptic message of, we're building movie props, you know, can't wait to show you what's going on. And I thought, you know, that sort of maybe looks like, you know, there's a X-Wing fighter pilot in a picture there. I wonder if it's going to be some sort of an X-Wing dogfight or something like that. Maybe. And then on Twitter came this picture, and there is Tom in the actual outfit. And I said, yes, this is definitely going to be something with an X-Wing. And then this came out, and this was also noted as being the beginnings of a X-Wing cockpit, an X-Wing. And I couldn't tell how big it was, but as it turns out, if you look at this, well, it's pretty big. And this is all cardboard and a lot of spray paint. And this is clearly an X-Wing cockpit. So I'm sure that they're going to have somebody in that cockpit, and that somebody's going to be flying that around. The question is who? Well, at first I thought, well, maybe it's Tom, right? But then they, on Instagram, they posted this picture. And this is one of their guys working on a 3D model of Ollie. And I thought, oh, hello, Moto. It's Ollie who's going to be in the cockpit of the model for the X-Wing, right? And then that was sort of confirmed when they posted out on they didn't. Tom posted on his Instagram account this picture of a behind-the-scenes shot of something that he's working on. Well, right away I see Ollie wearing the outfit, right? The costume of a rebel pilot. And I also see two other people, but they do not look like they are part of the rebellion. Maybe they are, but I'm guessing that they're not. And so at this point I'm saying, okay, we have at least 2 locations now. We have an X-Wing cockpit. So obviously we're flying around in space, and we have this sort of barren landscape, desolate terrain, which looks strangely like the countryside of England, probably. And so here it is. And so I want you to start thinking about what do we have. I'm going to say Rise of Skywalker, or maybe Rise of Hit Film. What do you think? Oh, Sny Flem Films, you're here in the room. It's great to see you. Farrah Film says yes, he's looking forward to this short film. November 10, Marine Corps birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to the Marine Corps. Yep, Sunday is the day with Mike Miller. That's going to be fantastic. Data Design, great to have you, sir. he is halfway through the course. Some things I forgot and some things I did not know. Yeah, it's funny how when you go through something and you go, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. So thank you for your support on the course as well. I really, really appreciate it. Yep, the glue sticks are a good scale clue, as well as the, let me find this again, as well as the tripod there in the middle. I think that's probably a pretty good clue as well. The behind the scenes photos can fool you. Yes, sir, you are correct. But I don't think that was necessarily designed to be fooling anybody. The Rise of Ollie. There you go. Sounds good to me. They could be at a beach site. They certainly could. They could be. So continuing on, this, I think that we have are at least 3 protagonists here. And I'm not sure, but I'm gonna, like I said, I think Ollie is probably representing the rebellion, and the other 2 are something else. They are all 3 holding blasters, and they're in, the 2 in the back are looking more like each other, and Ollie looks more like he's part of himself there. So let's show you the next shot. So we have these protagonists. Here is from the Instagram page of FXhome. This is, I'm guessing, the antagonist. She has a lightsaber with a lightsaber blade prop. It lights up, so it shines on her face. And the set is an indoor set with big pipes and overhead lighting there and all that kind of stuff. I think also that they posted, actually, let me tell you that Javert on his page posted this picture on his Instagram. And this is of, I'm sure, our antagonist. That is the lightsaber lit up, very ragged lightsaber. And this is obviously in hit film. The Sith eyes are very present here. There's no question to me that those are Sith eyes. So I think this is our our antagonist. Let me see here. Flaming Thunder TV. Tom could be a Sith or a First Order. Yes, he could be. But I didn't see any pictures of him anywhere. Looks to me like the hidden guy is holding a camera rig and wearing a toboggan, possibly. Hey, Mike, glad to have you, sir. I have announced that we will be getting together on Sunday, this Sunday only. And we will be talking about Mike's essential items that we need to know for VFX. Not just hit film, but for VFX. Mike's Essentials. Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Snai Flim Films, Dark Ray, maybe? Yeah, possibly. And he says that he can't hear anything. Can everybody else can hear anything, right? Everybody else can hear me just fine, I'm sure. Could have been a tech glitch. It's possible. But we are in the middle here of talking about the antagonist, what appears to be the antagonist. The good news is that we had a couple of pictures today that were released on various. This one was on Tom's Instagram account. This is in Blender, the new version of Blender, and this certainly looks like the building, maybe the outside of the building that he is working on in Blender as maybe an establishing shot before we go into the building. And then today, this is on Javert's Instagram account. We have oh wait, let me back up and let me show you this. This is Javert's account. And this is a picture here of Ollie in a hologram, and somebody is talking to him there. I believe that maybe the original person that was in this picture here on the left with the blaster. And let me show you again this picture from Tom's account. This is the blender shot with the building. I'm going to guess this is some sort of an establishing shot that they will use. And then this was literally today, just a few hours ago. Ollie in a hologram. And then also FXhome put on the Facebook page this picture with, you can see Kirsty there on the right. You can see the actress who is playing the antagonist on the left. We have a camera here. We have this entire scene. So what I'm getting at here is that we have what appears to me to be an X-wing cockpit, and so something happening in space. We have something on the beach or on the countryside outside, and then we have an inside set as well in some sort of a building. And I think we have at least 3 protagonists and 1 antagonist, probably more. So the question is, what's going to happen? How's it going to work? Do they start in space and then land on the planet and meet up? Maybe the protagonists meet up on the planet and then go into the building? Or do they, maybe does it start in the building and go out? I mean, I don't know. But that's what I've got, right? So let's see. What do you think? Post in the comments below, and I will I'll put them up here. Let me see. What's your favorite Star Wars film? My favorite Star Wars film is the original Episode 4, A New Hope. Has always been my favorite. I was 9 years old when I saw it in the theater when it first came out. It's hard to explain to people what that experience was like, waiting in lines that literally wrapped around the block twice, the block twice at a time when that never happened, right? So a hollow Ollie, that is correct. Return of the Jedi, we got to vote for Return of the Jedi. That Empire is a phenomenal film, Episode 3, The Fall of Anakin, great film, great movie. I love that one. This is a fun wall. It is. You guys are great, awesome. All Star Wars films are good films. I'm with you. That is sort of creepy. Never seen anyone smile like that in a hologram. Wait a minute. Let's bring that up again. Show what we're looking at there. Yeah, I agree. I'm guessing that he is enjoying seeing his old friend, is what I'm saying. Hey, how are you? What's going on, kind of a thing, right? Star Wars Visit to the Beach sounds good. Place by the Beach, I agree. I think historically, most of all, if not all, started in space, so I agree. Personally, I think it's going to start in space. Maybe a dogfight. Oh, wouldn't that be great? Have you guys seen some of the stuff that can be done in hit film? Let me show you this. This is Mike Miller's Strike Force. Let me just skip forward a little bit. This is his Strike Force video. Let me get rid of that so you can see it. This is all done in hit film. I believe this was hit film 4. Look at that explosion. Oh, I mean, that's fantastic, right? Just amazing. And it's all done in, all procedurally, which is even better. Mike recently did a sort of a practice thing on the Y-wing. Wait a minute. And here it is, the Y-wing versus a TIE fighter. The TIE fighter comes in, Oh my gosh, is that fantastic or what? So hit film is very much up to the task of being able to handle this kind of stuff. Look at this explosion. You'll love this. This is so unbelievably perfect. Oh, just incredible. I mean, really, really amazing. So it may start in space. Maybe he's forced to the ground, or maybe he chooses to go and land there. I mean, you don't build a whole cockpit just to sit in there and fly to a place. Hopefully, there's got to be more than that, right? I would think so. Hit Film 3. Sorry, Mike. Hit Film 3, giving you more credit, or giving you less credit than you should. All the particle sim, all procedurally, right? Yeah, cool indeed. Happy with that last one too. Alexander Filmworks. I saw episode 4 in Denver late summer of '77, just after I took my FCC exam for broadcast radio. Sweet. I actually saw episode 4 at the Peak Theater in Colorado Springs, Colorado, but I saw episode 5, Empire, in the brand new Cinema 70 Theater in Denver with the super quadraphonic sound. And that was the first time I'd ever experienced that. And a TIE fighter flew. You could hear the TIE fighter behind you in the theater. And I literally dove under the seat. I was like, 12, and I ducked under the seat, and my parents thought that was hysterical, right? And here come these TIE fighters flying past, and I was just astonished because I'd never experienced that before. That was the first for me, right? So, just incredible. Snipe Flem Films thinks we're going to have a crash landing. So Ollie is in the cockpit. Maybe there's a dogfight. He has to crash land. He meets up with his friends, and then they have to go after the antagonist. Maybe so. I'm very excited. So here's the next question that I have. What are they highlighting in the new version of HitFilm? We're going to assume it's HitFilm version 14. I don't know, because I'm not a beta tester or anything. But what effects are they going to bring in here? Do you think it will be After Effects plugins? I think After Effects plugins are possibly in there. What do you think? Put those in the comments and let me see them. Mike says Action VFX Explosion is a great video particle sprite, and several other particle layers. A great stock explosion with 3D elements to sell the camera move equals boom. Yes, it does. And Mike is one of the best at creating those really super realistic explosions there. Ben Burtt's audio in Star Wars is amazing. I particularly like Ben Burt in actually episode 6, Return of the Jedi, where he says, "You rebel scum," and then he actually tries to mimic the classic yell as he gets knocked off over the railing and down into the thing, right? Ben Burt is absolutely a genius. Something awesome, I'm sure. I agree. I saw episode 4 near opening day, but had to drive 30 miles and see it a few months before I got married. I actually got married on the day that episode 2 came out, and it wasn't by chance, or it wasn't planned that way. But we made sure we planned our wedding date so that it wouldn't coincide with the Attack of the Clones release. And then George Lucas moved the date to our wedding day. I'm like, oh, you're killing me, right? But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Mike is a beta tester, and he can't say anything, but he knows all the answers to everything. And just kind of give me a wink and a nod there, Mike. And it's the Action VFX. I'm sure of it. Yeah, or not the Action, but the After Effects plugins. I'm sure of it, right? Spaceship effects or a Blender plugin? Ooh, a Blender plugin would be cool. That Frank Spider Hank has been working on Filmer. One of the things that I'm excited about that he's talking that we talked about was, right now you have like camera moves inside and tracking that you can do inside of Blender and then bring it into HitFilm. But wouldn't it be cool to do the tracking in the Foundry and then be able to bring that camera into Blender? And he says it's definitely doable, but it's kind of tricky, and he's working on it. After Effect plugins, they teased that out at NAB. What was it, last March or April? And I think that they kind of got behind their curve. They were hoping to get it out in the middle of the year, like July timeframe, like with with version 13. But as it turns out, it didn't quite get there. And they did get Foundry in there. They talked about that too. So I think that's probably the next one. Yes, the Wilhelm scream. That's exactly right. Ben Bird in the Wilhelm scream. He tried to mimic that scream as best he could, and I just thought that was hysterical when I saw that in the theater. At the time that happened, I was 16 years old. So to continue my story about getting married on the day that Attack of the Clones came out, I was like, oh, this is going to be fabulous. And then I didn't get to see it. Well, I had tickets for months for Revenge of the Sith, and then my son ended up being born on that day as well. And I have never let him down, never let him live that down. And he is a huge Star Wars fan also. He is now 14 years old, which gives you an idea of how long ago that happened. So let's see here. X-Wing picks, last post on my thread with denoising. Oh, yeah. And I was actually just visiting your CGI page, almycgi.org and .org, .net, sorry, .net. And that page has some really sweet looking X-Wing shots in it. Oh my gosh, so good. Lazio, the old films are better than the new ones, in my opinion, because Rogue One is still one of my favorites. I agree. I thought Rogue One was a great film. I thought it maybe dragged a little bit during Act 2, but other than that, it was so good. And personally, I really like Solo also. Solo was so good. It was so lighthearted and so fun, and who doesn't like Woody Harrelson, Hit Film University commenting here on Filmer, already insane, and it's just getting better. Absolutely. I totally agree. Frank's is promising. Tutorials are coming out. He's got a great voiceover artist who's working on it for him, and he's going to bring those things out so everybody can see them. New faster version coming soon. Faster shaders too. Oh, you better believe it. You better. Yeah. That's my son for you. He is almost as tall as I am. I'm 6'3". He's almost as tall as I am. He is over 6 feet. He's only 14. I don't know what happened there. It's incredible. My wife's only 5'3", so he must have got it from her side of the family somehow. I don't know. Let me see here. Yep, on the FXhome forum, you can find Frank's thread and work on that one here. Frank likes all the new ones. Actually, I like all of the Star Wars movies. There's not a movie that I don't like. But there's some that are good, and then there are some that are great, but there are no bad ones. There are no bad ones. Probably my favorite one is A New Hope, and probably my least favorite one is The Last Jedi. Yeah, that's it. But boy, did I really like Solo. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and it was a lighthearted romp through the old days, and it was great. Mike, I'll tell you this. When I was in the theater, there were some fanboys sitting behind me, and every time they would throw a bone to the fanboys, they would go, ooh, and it really ruined my first experience. There's R2. Did you see R2? I'm like, oh, I guess we saw R2. He didn't really need to be there. But I watched it a second time in my own home and went, actually, this is a lot better than I remember it being. That was so good. So the dog fights, Star Wars can do dog fights. I actually did a tutorial on dog fights. And it is not actually, I didn't actually do it through or in the Star Wars universe. I know, I should have done it, but I did it instead with Battlestar Galactica, because I just wanted to do something different. And it was sort of more of a proof of concept. Here it is, using the behavior effects, the follow effect and things like that, how to quickly and easily make a procedural dogfight going on, right? So, it's easy to do. It really is a simple, easy thing to do. Just have to you know, just have to put it together. And especially if you only have one X-wing, then it'll be very easy. So I think that's probably it in terms of you know, what we're going to see. And I'm really looking forward to it. I gotta say, Rebellion was a great short film. Really enjoyed it. All of the FXhome short films have been really, really fun. So tell me what you think in terms of what it is. Leave comments in the sections below. I do want to remind everybody one more time about the Udemy course. Make sure that you get that. If you're going to buy that course, buy it tonight or tomorrow morning early, because the coupon code ends here fairly soon, like 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So Sensei 999 is the code. SENSEI. Make sure that you use that code, because it gives you the best possible price that you can get. Okay, and I posted it again here in the chat. It's also in the description below. And don't forget, on Sunday, this Sunday, Mike Miller will be joining me, and we will be talking about Mike's essentials for VFX. If you're in HitFilm or any other type of VFX software, you want to watch this episode, it's going to be fantastic. It's at 3 o'clock Eastern, which is noon Pacific, and hopefully everybody all around the world will be able to get it without having to wake up in the middle of the night and everything like that. So without further ado, I will go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks everybody for being here. Do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And otherwise, thanks for watching, everybody.